What is up, everybody? Toothless here, and the Demon Coalition bit is live. We'll be going through the mechanics on what you need to do, what you need to look out for, what champions seem to be working the best, the top 100 teams, just pretty much everything that you need to know broken down as simply as I could put it to get through all these events and get the highest score possible. Let's get into starting with what the mechanics are. If it's any different than the normal Demon Lord, what's changed, that type of stuff. The A1 Annihilation Punch attacks on an enemy, damage inflicted proportional to the target's max HP, fully depletes the target's turn meter, also puts a stun on them for 1 turn, and it cannot be resisted. The A2 Interdimensional Terror attacks all enemies twice, places a 30% decreased speed debuff and a block buff on each enemy for 2 turns, but it can be resisted. The A3 Timeless Fury attacks all enemies 4 times before attacking. 4 times before attacking, places a big version 50% increase attack buff on the Tainted Demon Lord for 2 turns. Each hit also has a 50-50 chance of decreasing the duration of all enemy buffs by 1 turn. Each hit also has a 50% chance of placing a Master Seal debuff on all enemies for 1 turn. Well, that's interesting. The passive is the damage taken from skills that based on the Demon Lord's max HP, as well as damage from War Mastery, Giant Slayer Mastery, HP burns, passive reflect damage skills or effects cannot exceed 100,000 HP. I wonder if that includes Magma Shield. I didn't see that list. The damage taken by Smite debuffs cannot exceed 250,000 HP. The damage taken from 1 tick of a 2.5% poison cannot exceed 25,000 HP. A 5% poison cannot exceed 50,000 HP. And the Tainted Demon Lord is immune to max HP destruction effects. Not really sure why that would matter one way or the other. Starting from the first turn, the damage inflicted by all skills increases each turn. Damage increases by the same percentage each turn and accumulates over multiple turns. Starting from the 20th turn, the damage is increased by a greater amount. Also starting from the first turn, the Tainted Lord's attack, defense, speed, resistance, and accuracy will increase each turn. Starting from the 20th turn, the Tainted Demon Lord's defense, speed, resistance, accuracy will also increase by a greater amount from the 20th turn. Also, starting from the 20th turn, all attacks ignore block damage, unkillable, and shield buffs on all enemies, and will place a block revive debuff if the target is killed. Wow. Finally, starting on the 30th turn, decrease the value of any shield buffs on all enemies by 100% at the start of the Tainted Demon Lord's turn. So, it looks like you need to get the bulk. You can kind of run, say, Cernic with Unkillable or something up until turn 20. But after turn 20, that ain't going to help matters any. And if somebody gets killed, it is going to block a revive on them. So I don't think revive on death will work in that case either. And on the 30th turn, shields don't even work. So you really need champions that can take a hit. I'm not sure if like Loki or Predator or one of those champions who like has the evade skill, if that's affected or not. It doesn't say anything about evade. He's also immune to all CCs, including Berserk, Enfeeble, Nullify, Ensnare, Fatigue, and Hunter's Gaze. Also immune to HP exchange effects, pretty normal. And he's immune to decreased speed and turn meter reduction effects. So decreased speed does not work on him, but increased speed is still something you want to look out for. The 50% increased attack means that having a decreased attack is even more important. He's put in a decreased speed and a block buffs on each enemy, so you're going to want to cleanse. And he can put out a stun on one enemy, so cleanse. So really what you need, like, obviously, is a cleanse or a block debuff, because it doesn't say that that goes through it like the stun will. So the block debuff will probably work. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything about Master Seal ignoring anything like that either. Since burns and everything else is pretty much capped, I think burns still probably will do maybe not the same damage, but they're not going to be hurt too bad. But champions like Newt or Wallmaster Atharion, they're probably not going to be that great in this boss fight, because the HP damage, max HP, is capped even more than it was. What's up, Soiler? Uh, I mean, yeah, I haven't had an opportunity to do a takeover, but I would definitely be open to the idea. So yeah, it looks like what we're gonna need to do is front load as much damage as we possibly can by the 20th turn. That should go pretty smoothly. And then from turns 20 to 30 and onward, you're just gonna really have to hope for some tanky champions. From what I'm seeing on the top 100 teams, the first top 5 teams seem to be the same. You got Theodosia, Lady Mikage, Senna, Toshiro, and Androck. If you don't have Toshiro, I'm still going to try out Ninja, just for the fact that, yeah, the burns aren't going to be as effective, but his A1 is still a very hard hitting A1, one of the hardest in the game. What's up, Swiller? Androck does seem like a good choice, especially paired with Senna. That'd probably be your best turn eater. And you could probably go about this with the same logic you would on a Chimera damage team, that you just want to get as many moves or turns as possible before the turn 30. Because it does seem like once he's reducing your shields, he's blocking revives, everything like that. We're just going to have to see the damage to see how serious that's actually going to be. Mikage is never a bad choice, especially if you're going to swap out Toshiro for Ninja, or if you use Toshiro. Theodosia, you could probably, if you don't have her because she is a mythical, you could probably sub that out for a Sir Nick or no. It would be nice to have Noelle on the team, but I don't really see a champion that I would swap out with on that. But I do say that Sir Nick could be a swap out for Theodosia if you don't have her. Going down and see if we can find some other teams that are not that. It's looking like every single, yeah, there's somebody who swapped out Toshiro for Ninja. They added in Teox, but Teox only did 253 mil when Ninja did 1.5 bill. So Teox does not appear to be like a crazy good champion for this fight, just based off of that team's damage right there. Every other team still seems to be showing the same thing. Let's go down about 10 or 15 teams and see what's up. Still Theodosia, Toshiro, Mikage. Now here's somebody swapped out Theodosia for Feral. Feral is a really good champion that can boost the damage for your entire team with his passive. So that could be an option. I could see why somebody would bring him in. Just more of the same there. There's somebody brought in a Hatter in place of Theodosia. Yeah, it just looks like every single team is using the same. Well, here's a different team. A little bit. They're bringing in Togron. But it looks like Mikage and Senna and Theodosia or Androck is kind of your staple, swapping out Toshiro or Ninja, whoever you have. And at the very bottom, yeah, all the way down, you're seeing the same team. So from first impressions, it looks like that's going to be your meta team, but we'll have to see. I sadly do not have Toshiro, but I do have Ninja. I've got a pretty good built-up Mikage. I do have Senna and Androck. Oh, Senna, where are you at? There you are. And we'll try this out. This is all subject to change. This is our first run. Since I don't have Theodosia, I don't know if we want to run. We saw the Feral. I could definitely see a use case for that, bringing in more damage. And since Senna is a competent healer, that may be the choice we go with. The only sad part is we don't have that great of a build on Feral. We've got him in relatively good resistance, but we don't really know what the stats are for the Demon Lord. We'll throw him in and we'll see, but if he gets killed off first, then we're going to swap him out for somebody else. But just to see if this team, if we can actually replicate that, let's find out. Make sure we got everything. We got block buffs. We've got, do we have decreased attack? I don't think we have a decreased attack on this team. Yeah, I'm lacking Theodosia Swindler. I wish I had her. I don't think there's not a decreased attack on this team, so we'll have to see how necessary that actually will be. We'll have to see if that would buy us enough turns after whatever turn the damage really ramps up with that's worth swapping out a decreased attack champion for somebody else. Go ahead and start with Senna's A2 though, get her all boosted up, get the continuous heals out so we can start boosting turn meter. We're going to start with Androx A3 for more continuous heals, and the increased resistance will help us resist the skills. Have you done the Coalition yet, Swindler? If so, where are you at on it? The first few rotations with Ninja, we are going to be using all three of his skills because you have to use all of his skills to make the passive activate. So we'll have to cycle through it 10 times. Hopefully we're faster than the boss enough to get that in before he gets too ramped up. But as long as you do that, it will, no, it only takes 5 times when you're fighting bosses. But after the 5th rotation, we're just going to cycle into the A1 and A3 and forget about, or the A1 and A2 and forget about the A3. I suppose we can open up with the A2 to go ahead and get some burns out though. We're going to start off with Bakage's A3 to get some ally attacks in. Maybe Ninja can land his decreased defense, which he does. And then we're going to use her A2 to increase the duration of all the buffs. On Feral, we're going to go ahead and put out a block buff. That way he can't get that increased attack off. And then we're going to use Androx A2 to increase the buff duration. We're then going to use Ninja's A3. Like I said, we're just going to use that 5 rotations, and then we're going to cycle between the A1 and A2. We're going to keep Mikage in her first form. I suppose we'll go ahead and put a veil out on people, but I don't really feel like it's that important in this fight. That's cool, man. What kind of team does he have? Senna, we just keep cycling between the A1 and A2. If somebody dies, they're going to block the revive, so I don't really think a reviver is going to be helpful with this boss. Probably going to keep Androx in his first form. I don't really see a reason to put him in his second form. We don't really need decreased resistance. You can't enfeeble him. We've already got decreased defense with Ninja, so there's no point in that. Does he have like Galather and stuff like fully blessinged out? I do wish that you could put a decreased speed out on him, but whatever. A lot of these newer bosses you can't put decreased speed or turn meter on, so it's pretty far for the course. I will say, it might behoove you to build Feral and a Feral kit, as long as your Androx is built in protection. That way you're getting the extra damage from both sets. And then Feral's passive is another damage increase. It If an ally has under 4 more buffs, increase their damage by 20%. So if you stack that on top of a feral kit, what would that be? 30 or 40% damage increase plus Androck's 20% damage increase? I feel like Galather or Theodosia is like the 2 main champions I'm missing as well. So at least I'm not alone there. Like I'd mentioned in the past, though, I'd be happy with a Mariska. Like you always say, I've got all the nukers, but I don't really have that great of supports. At least not for PvP. If you're just talking about PvE, I've got really good supports. Oh, we got the Master Seal out on Senna. Luckily, it's only for 1 turn, and Mikage can cleanse that off because she reduces 1 duration on all the debuffs and buffs. But it's on cooldown, so we can't do that right now. I don't really think that it would hurt anything with Senna anyways. Out of all the champions, I guess Senna, I don't know. Her passive is really nice, but we don't have any gear on her that's really affected that bad from a seal. Did you see all the all the changes, like the bugs that they fixed on Arne? I didn't realize he had so many bugs and glitches, but like half of the patch notes when it came to the bug category was about Arne. I just thought that was pretty wild. So we've done 10 mil and he's not even taken a turn yet. This essentially is just my Chimera team. So by the first turn, we did 12 mil. You need 85 to get the top or the main reward or whatever to like qualify essentially. One thing I have noticed is we don't have a weaken. Now, we can swap Androck over and do a weaken, but then we're going to lose a lot of our turn meter fill. So it might behoove you to swap out Feral for somebody who can put out a weaken. And Mikage could do it too, but then we lose our buff duration increaser and our ally attack for a rotation. Now, if we had a champion on the team that could, does it increase their debuffs? You know, we're going to swap her over for a rotation and put out a weekend and see if we can keep that debuff out. I don't know if we'll be able to without swapping Androck over, but we're going to try it. Because that will increase our damage dramatically. Do you have any blessings on RNA yet, Swindler? Hopefully, Mikage is fast enough to get back around to her A2 to transform and then use her A2 before he takes 2 turns. As long as she's quick enough to do that, we should be able to keep that weaken up. How's he doing without any blessings? Damage dealers, you almost always need blessings on to get full potential, but there are some champions that the blessings help, but they're not like super important. Man, I don't know. I don't think she's fast enough to get back around to increase the duration of it. No, she's not. Or will she be? Oh, she is. Just barely, but she is. I don't have a loss, so I've never really had much of an issue out of him in Live Arena, so I don't really know a whole lot about Elias. I see him every now and then, but not super prominently. I mean, I hear good things about him, though. One thing about Mikage's ally attack paired with Senna that actually makes Senna even better is that where Senna's A1 instant activates continuous heals, you'll get even more turn meter fill with any ally attack champion because it's causing Senna to activate more continuous heals that way. Just food for thought. I'm a little bit afraid of what kind of damage he's going to do as it ramps up, and as it stands, he's not really accomplishing much damage-wise. But when we get around turn 20 to 30, I expect it to go up dramatically. Oh yeah, we should be able to keep that weaken up. And Ninja should be pretty close, if not already, to his escalation cap. Does he hit harder than Siegfried? I thought Siegfried was supposed to be the hardest hitting champion. We'll do one more skill rotation with Ninja, but he may already be capped. I'll have to check his multipliers out sometime. We might do it after this fight. I am curious how his base stats and multipliers add up to some of the other ones. Well, doesn't Elaz gain damage from stone attacking Stone Skin or something, though? So Ninja's A1 is still an 800k per hit right now. 845. So that one only did 500k. I really wish that we had a different debuffer, or maybe Feral and Feral Gear would be the choice. I normally run Gizmak against Nias, and Gizmak tends to take care of Nias pretty easily. You just gotta make sure to keep Gizmak into his, like, say if Nias is for some reason in Stone Skin or something like that, or Mercurial, you gotta make sure that you keep him in his first form long enough for whatever damage mitigation Nias has on to wear off. But as long as you can get that burnout on him, Gizmak pretty much makes him irrelevant. He ignores block damage, and a lot of times it's only because I got a 6-star Incinerate blessing on him, but a lot of times when you kill him and he transforms, the burn goes ahead and finishes Nice off before he even gets to transform. The A2 is hitting over a mil though with Ninja. So yeah, pretty much anytime Ninja gets a turn, he's putting between like 800k to like 1.2 mil. Which I don't have the best gear on these champions by any means. Yeah, you know I love my girl. Yeah. Where so few champions ignore Unkillable, you get her A2 off on the first form and swap over to her second form, you've pretty much won the fight. Not many people, even if they have stone skin, not many champions could withstand two A2s from a Daryl's A2 for her second form. We are starting to get a little bit of breather room with the weaken buff though, so yeah, Mikage at the speed she's at was plenty enough to keep full debuff extension out. Rhodos always catches me off guard. Always underestimate her. Think I have a fight won, and then she just kind of comes out of the blue and wipes the whole party. Not as much if I'm paying attention, but if somebody sneaks in a Rhodos in Lava Arena and I don't notice it and pay attention to it, I get caught off guard quite a bit. Feral and Mikage, I probably need to increase their gear. I haven't re-geared them in a long time, especially Feral. But I mean, he does have close to 6k defense, like 75k attack, which isn't great, but it's not horrible. I would just have to go up against the laws more to really like get a good grasp of what he's capable of. I've never had an Elias. I have heard people say his A2 is like the hardest hitting ability in the game. I haven't had it wipe me out yet. But it doesn't ignore anything. Like, it doesn't ignore unkillable or block damage, and most of my teams generally have one of the two up. So that might be a part of it. The same reason I don't really look at Predator as that big of a threat to me personally is just because he doesn't ignore the buffs that I have out. Yeah, but you went up against an AI team. We'll do a friendly battle later tonight. I just want to see what you're talking about, how he's so hard hitting or whatever. With you having Galathir and Arn and Theodosia, I have no doubt that you would want my team. I just don't see Olaz being the one to do it. You definitely win when it comes to a battle of attrition. There's no doubt about that. And there's a lot of teams I go up against in Classic Arena that I could wipe, but if they were playing manual like in Live Arena, they would wipe me. Like I said, later after I'm done with this Demon Lord video, we'll do a friendly fight or whatever. I want to see what numbers he puts out anyways. Because, I mean, my Geralt hits for like 1,000,000 a head. And my Gizmak hits for like 200, 250k a head. As long as they're under a burn, of course. Oh, I see. Now that I'm like, yeah, bring it. I'll see you in Live Arena. He don't hit that hard no more. Isn't Cat's Gaze only like 10% ignore defense anyways, or 10% more damage? I could be wrong, but isn't that the way it's worded? What does it do? Like what's the numbers on it? I don't remember right off the top of my head. My Cat's Gaze, I run it and on my PvP teams. I haven't ran it on any of my arena teams, so I'm not too canny on what it does exactly. The Galathir, I wouldn't be horribly worried about, but I know there's no way I could take on a Theo with Galathir. So it probably wouldn't benefit my Geralt anyways then, because with the Helm Smasher, Savage, and the Ignore 50% defense passive, he's already doing pure damage. But having double Savage on a champion that doesn't already ignore a bunch of defense, yeah, that would definitely be greatly beneficial. Oh, we're starting to take some damage. Right on time, too. We're about to go into turn 20 here. I'm curious to see what he's hitting on turn 30, assuming we even make it that far. I don't know how far or how fast this will escalate. I still think we need to put Feral in some Feral gear. $47? Dude, that's crazy. 47 wins in a row in Lava. That's crazy. I thought when I got the badge for getting 10 wins in a row, I was doing good. I was just happy to get that badge. That's just how the meta changes in Raid. What's really good right now probably won't be worth a damn 2 months from now. I don't know. I think Solinar is going to be top tier for a long time, though. But I've noticed, like, whenever a champion's, like, really strong in the meta, within a couple of months, they'll release, like, a fusion or a champion event that has a champion that, like, directly counters that other champion. Now, with Taurus and Mariska, they let that shit go on way too long. But for the last 12 months, they've definitely been, like, releasing a champion, and then a month or two later, they release a champion to counter that champion, and then just keep repeating the cycle. He's easy to counter if you don't run mythicals. Anytime I've ran more than one mythical, he's beat me. But just about any time I swap over to legendaries, I normally beat him. Have you seen the new fusion that comes out next week? I'm definitely going for her. She is a godsend for teams that can't hit like 450 or higher speed. Dude, her passive is once the enemy team puts out 8 buffs, everybody on your team gets an automatic 20% turn meter fill. So if you've got a second, and she's a reviver, that place is unkillable. But if you've got a second support like speed lead top champion with a turn meter fill, like say if you can get her up to like 400 and have your second speed at like 350 to 400, as long as your other 2 champions are like over 250 or 280, her passive is going to boost up your speed lead. Your speed lead adds another 20-30% on top of the other the initial turn meter boost from the fusion, and essentially you get a 50% turn meter boost by pairing her with any other speed or turn meter booster. And where it doesn't matter, she doesn't have to take a turn for everybody to get that turn meter fill. It's just passive. Whenever an enemy team puts out 8 buffs across the whole team, everyone on your team gets a 20% turn meter fill. That is a crazy passive. So anybody running like go second teams, or they're kind of fast but not fast enough, like, you know, like say if you're like in the early 400s, or you're like kind of fast but not really, she's a great champion for those teams. Oh, we're starting to take some real damage now. Turn 34. It is wild that they would do 2 back-to-back Reviver fusions for the same faction, though. These for the Dark Elves as well. But I feel like she's way better than Noldula, or whatever her name was. Oh shit. He's somehow cleansed all his debuffs off. Oh, he's resisting my debuffs now. And he just killed Ninja. By herself, I haven't really seen her be a problem. Paired with Solinar, yeah, definitely. Like, I don't think she's a trash champion, but she's not, like, top tier in my opinion. This new fusion, I feel like, is like Raglan 2.0. I wonder if this clan boss's skills, they just scale indefinitely, because I don't see a cap on him getting increased attack and defense and all that every turn. I'm curious to see the trial modes next. Like the next stage is restricted. That block revive on everybody is crazy. Pretty crazy that Farrell was the last man standing, considering he's in my least good gear. Okay, so Ninja did 174 mil, but we only made it to like turn 39 or 8 or whatever that was. Wow, it unlocked a lot of rewards from that though. Okay, so the Tainted Demon Lord, we can, the second stage, you can only use Lizard Man, looks like Sacred Order, Sylvan Watchers, and Undead Hordes. So automatically, I'm thinking Little Miss Annie and Siegfried for damage. Nell can be your debuffer. Noel and Sir Nick. Yeah. Let's do Lasarius for the block debuffs, block buffs, and strengthen and turn meter fill. We'll do Noel and Sir Nick for unkillable and heals. Nell for debuffs, the weaken decreased defense. And we'll try Teox. I don't know who would deal more damage, Teox or Siegfried. Let's try Teox first since we got Lasarius on the team. Can you even get a Cat's Gaze now, or is this something that you can only get, like, from that time-limited event? Oh yeah, he's already hitting for a mill on the A3, or right at it, on turn 1. Without even escalating the max with the A2. They need to bring back, which they kind of did with that one, not the last event they had, but the one before it, where you could get some relic fragments from each of the individual, like, relic classes or whatever. But if you weren't able to get one during that, you've just been kind of SOL since the Alice event. Which does suck, because I agree, it's one of the top tier, like, damage dealing relics in the game. Like, probably top 3. Maybe top 2. I'm sure it'd come back around, but, like, who knows when. I don't know the relics enough to say if there's one better or not. I just don't want to say it's the best without having a better knowledge of what it's competing against. But I am confident that if there is any that's better, it would only be like one. Like, I'm sure there's some relics that would make one or two specific champions do more damage just because the way it would interact with their skill kit. But as far as being a consistent relic that can do any champion, yeah, it is probably number one. I hope we can make it to 85 mil with this team. Keox is so squishy, as soon as he starts ignoring unkillable, he's just going to stay dead. Sir Nick hitting a quarter mil on the A1 is higher than I expected. I always get caught off guard by Sir Nick's damage. I just look at him as more of like a support. We might make it to 30 or get to 85 mil before 30, before they start blocking rebuffs. I know as soon as turn 30 hits, Keox is going to be blocked though. I like that there's not a set amount of keys for this boss. That way you can experiment around without either wasting a bunch of energy or being capped at a couple of tries a day. I am starting to think that there may not have been a use for us. I don't know. It's hard to justify filling 2 slots with Cernic and Noel for this fight. I feel like I'd have to look at the roster, but there's probably a better like heal support champion that you could use in place of her. Because she's not a especially crazy healer. She's not really bringing anything else to the table other than giving Sir Nick an extra turn of goodwill. Damn. I've only got one. You have an ball cardiac hard, but yeah, I've only got one mythical relic. I've been very unlucky with my mythical relic fragments. I bet I've pulled 10 of them in the last 6 months, and only one was actually a mythical. Which mythical relic do you think's your favorite? I know it's going to be relegated to PvP, but I'm just curious which one you like the best. Yeah, I would like to have Stormcaller. I'd like to have Stormcaller and the one that gives you Fervor. Them two would be the ones I would want the most. I don't think we're going to hit 85 mil with this team. We're going to have to swap in another damage dealer. What's the Star of Janang do? Well, they have a pack in the shop right now that sells Starstone. That's the first time I've ever seen Starstone be sold in a pack, but it's in there right now. At least on my account, it is. Let's see what little Miss Annie can do in this fight. Not much, or at least not on the A1. We'll see what Playdate hits for. $290, yeah. She ain't doing as much as I would hope for. I really got to research up on my relics. I got me a 3-star soul for Carnage out of the Soulstone thing the other day. Not great or anything, but you know, I'm working my way up on him. Oh, I agree. If you're gonna run any champion in like in-game arena, you need a 5 or 6-star soul. Really, you need a 6-star soul at this point to get that speed. This team's doing better. I think we'll be able to hit the 85 by turn 30 on this team. Did you see that? Well, I'm sure you saw it. That spotter tournament they did where you had to use uncommon champions a day or two ago. That's freaking crazy. I didn't even bother with it. I wasn't gonna waste the resources to take uncommons to level 6 or 60. The 1,000 mystery shards for April Fools, that's okay. I mean, at least you get a legendary book out of it, but I don't know. They're doing some weird stuff right now. And it's like, who was that uncommon spotter tournament even for? Because you would think it would be for like lower tier players, but then again, for an uncommon to do anything, you need like god tier gear on them, and the only people that would have that level of gear is either like day one players or people who spend a lot of money. So it's like, who was that tournament even meant for? If I'm not mistaken, some of the later stages on this Demon Lord event requires uncommons. Which just seems ridiculous. Yeah, I agree. There's only like 2 or 3 rares that I've even taken to 60. Fellhound, Belor, and Coldheart. And Elhain. I took Elhain to 60, but that's just because she was my starter. Hope Sigfrid can make it to his support form. We're probably going to need that. Must be nice, man. I don't think I've ever seen a kill streak of 47 in Lava Arena. That's wild. What was he using? Like for a free-to-play account? Damn. He might be free to play, but that ain't a free to play team. Maybe this leech will help keep the team alive. My goal is to increase the debuffs enough turns up with Siegfried that when his resistance gets really high by like turn 25 or whatever, that we won't have to place them anymore. How old is his account? Oh yeah, this team's looking a lot better. Yeah, that's a long time. The new avatar frame that you get from this event's really cool looking. I wish I had that 7-year avatar frame. But I mean, hell, this account's almost 5 years old now at this point. Donatello might be a champion worth bringing in with the second stage. Especially to pair with Teox, but where he brings in a continuous hill and a turn meter or skill turn reduction, whatever the term for that is. Have you only been playing for 3 years, Swindler? For some reason, I thought you'd been playing, like, since day one, basically. That's crazy. 98% win rate, 52 to 1. What team beat you? What was they running? Oh, wow. Freaking Cthulhu level Kraken. Oh. You should join one of them tournaments that Cruisin' puts on. I don't know what G and H means. I wasn't talking about the clan Cthulhu. I meant like the Cthulhu mythology level Kraken. I was just saying like you're a super Kraken. I still don't know what a GNL cluster is. That like a clan? Oh. Oh, yeah. I was in the top 50 clan about this time last year, but I wasn't spending enough money to like keep up with what they were trying to do, so I had to leave. They didn't like make me leave, but some guys in the Discord were like talking behind my back, and somebody else from the Discord told me about it, and so I just kind of went away. But like, keep in mind, this was back when I was spending a couple of thousand a week. Damn it, we was so close to 85. Yeah, I feel you, man. That's pretty wild. Hey, I got second place in the clan on this Demon Coalition event. I even beat a Titus. Ninja outdamaged a Titus. Actually, Ninja did way more damage than a Titus. My Ninja did triple the damage of Titus. That's pretty crazy. Ninja outdamaged Leo. Ninja definitely outdamaged Crocad. Same as mine. Well, I had Feral and he's running the Hatter. But how the hell did he get 519? Oh, I see. It's combining the damage. I was about to say, I've got the highest stage 1 team. Like, out of all the clan members, my stage 1 team dealt the most damage. Swap out Nell for Donatello. We're losing that weakened decreased defense, but we are gaining that 4-person passive for Teox. I don't know if that damage mitigation is going to equal out or not. But I do know we'll be able to use his A3 and Siegfried's A3 way more with Donatello, so I don't know if this team is going to do any better or not. I mean, I'm only hitting auto too. I'm just watching it. I'm more impressed that Ninja tripled the damage of Titus. I mean, I could probably just you could just screenshot me like an image of your champions, and I could probably put you together a team instead of you paying somebody. Because this does definitely appear to be a boss that you can auto. So, I mean, you could just set it up and let it run on auto. After a certain point, you don't get any more rewards. Like, once you get enough points to max out that tree, you're pretty much capped out. Now, the top 10 players in the game, they get a reward. But considering how PvP focused your account is, to be frank, I just don't think your account will get top 10. But I mean, not like mine would either, you know. I'm just saying, like, the top 10 players in the game get a reward, but outside of the top 10 players, after you finish the tree of rewards, which you'll get mathematically just by getting the 85 mil in all in all 5 or 6 categories, there's no bragging rights, there's no special avatar or anything like that that you get unless you're in that top 10 player base. Top 10 in the game capable. And to be clear, I'm not by any means shitting on the account. I'm just saying the top 10 accounts in the game is what you would be going up against. You know, I sent him a message about helping me with both a Chimera team and setting me up an arena team, and I haven't heard back from him on either. I DM'd him on Discord twice about it, and I didn't get a response, so I don't know. I don't remember what the Chaos Awakes was. Was that the, what was the Chaos, Awakes thing? I completely forgot which event that was. Well, this team's only going to get about 75 as well. Damn. Okay. Crazy as it sounds, I think Sigfrid was holding this team back. Why'd you cuss him out for? So you Brazilian fuck, why ain't you responding to the DMs? I got business for you. Now, I agree he's not a PvE champion, but I was mainly bringing him in to keep the debuffs up, where he extends the duration of debuffs. But with 2 different turn meter fillers and a champion that decreases skill cooldowns, I don't think we need the debuff extension. I get what you was meaning, though. He's not a clan boss champion. Like Demon Lord or Chimera, he's not really a champion for those bosses. I've seen videos of him one-tapping Spider and Ice Golem, though. Yeah, we're dealing way more damage now. It's crazy that Teox alone is dealing more damage than him and Sigfrid combined were. I think this might be the team right here. For this stage, anyways. It's wild because I didn't see Necmo Thar on any of those team lists. But considering what all he brings, I'm just kind of shocked that I didn't see him on any of the other Stage 2 teams. Not to mention Geox's passive of 20% more damage per debuff for having all 4 Lizardmen. They need to go back and rerun stage 1 with this team. Yeah, that's the Donnie being a lizard. That's the main reason I brought him. I mean, yeah, his utility's pretty good, but like him being that fourth lizard man was my main thought on that. But yeah, this is pretty good damage. I put out more damage in 13 turns than I did in 30 with the other team. I know that the enemy max HP is capped on this boss, like lower than it is on other bosses, but I am curious if 3 newts wouldn't still put out a crap ton of damage. Because I do have 3 newts now. 2 of them are 6-star blessing. Put it like Senna, Androck, and 3 newts. I wonder how that would go. Newt is really good in certain areas. He's not like the all-around best champion like he used to be for bosses. He's still like S tier for Fire Knight. And he's really good in Chimera. He's probably S tier in Chimera. But he kind of sucks in Hydra compared to like Wallmaster. Single target bosses, he does do okay, but Ninja out damages Newt on normal Demon Lord by like double damage. Fire Knight, he's obviously great because, you know, the freeze, but he is like an A tier champion, but I don't think he used to be like an S tier champion. Now I think he's just like a high A. Especially in Hydra, like if you compare him to a Wallmaster or even a Geralt, Geralt will quadruple Newt's damage in Hydra. Well, we hit the 85 finally. On turn 21. Gotta grab another drink, 1 second. All right, I'm back. By the way, kind of off topic, but I started a diet last week. I went from 233 to 221 in since like last Monday, so kind of proud of that. That's 12 pounds in like 9 or 10 days. 100 mil. Oh yeah. Yeah, last summer I weighed like 168, and my doctor started me on testosterone, and I gained like 50 pounds in literally like 2 months. It just made my appetite skyrocket. But I finally have gotten my appetite or got the willpower not to pig out constantly, and I want to get back down to about 180. So Teox did 86 mil. Nobody else did anything. What does stage 3 allow for? Ooh, we get Geralt, Wellmaster, Lanicus, Drunkad. I thought summer was get skinny season. Why? Like, what? Why are you just planning on it? Well, obviously we're gonna bring in Geralt. I wonder about Aragaz. He has that 30% damage mitigation for the whole party on any ally below half health. Oh, hell yeah. What do you bench and squat? Thinking Lydia, Geralt. Argaz. I don't know if Crocat would be a good choice for this or not, but we'll try him out. I know he's an epic, but Durandil could also be an option. I don't know if Cassandra would be a good choice or not. I know she's really good in Chimera. But I'm not so sure about the Demon Lord. That's pretty crazy. I can't squat for shit. I can deadlift about 400 though. I bench about 240 for like, I don't know my actual 1 rep max, but I can do 240 for like 3, sometimes 4 reps. I just Googled what the world record for a bench press is. It says 782 pounds. And they're from Elizabeth, Tennessee, which is only like an hour from where I live. Ain't no way that's going to hit 85 mil. Oh, no wonder Girl's not in her second form. Well, I just had it pulled up. The highest actual like recorded bench press is 355 or 782. But yeah, so 782 is the highest actual like accepted bench press that's been like recorded at an event. Yeah, there's a guy that goes to my gym and he can squat like 600 pounds, but he said that he went to try to compete and he set it at 600 and he couldn't hit it. Like he said he embarrassed himself on stage. He could like I've seen him squat 600, but he said he got up there on stage and couldn't do it. Get you some Adderall or something. Alcohol screws with your muscles. I would think that would make it worse. That's wild. Before I got fat, I could do about 20 pull-ups. Sometimes a little bit more, depending on if I was like in a good mood or not. Man, this is a challenging one. 4 spirit affinities from dwarfs, Shadowkin, Skinwalker. That's a hard stage. I mean, you got Newt, but I don't know if he's going to deal enough damage for it or not. I've never been a drinker. I didn't even drink on my honeymoon. I don't. It's been shit. It's probably been 15 years since I've been drunk. I didn't think Newt would do that well because of the nerf to enemy max HP on this boss, but he's hitting on his A3 over a mil, so he might be a valid option for this boss. I predicted he wouldn't be, but I think I might have been wrong there. That's good, man. I used to be a big smoker, and I don't mean cigarettes. But ever since I quit smoking, I just feel so much better. $1.8 mil on that hit. I don't think it's that you feel worse. You feel reality. I never realized how slow Newt's animations were, where they're all triple hits and it's one hit at a time like that. They drag out forever. It feels like. We are putting out some decent damage, though. What do you mean? Oh, I do agree that the mind muscle connection is definitely a real thing. My gym's got a big sauna in it, and I never really thought much of it till I started going and using it. But dude, when I use the sauna, I sleep so much better that night. It lowers my blood pressure. I feel like the sauna is about as important as cardio itself. And it detoxifies the toxins. Back when I used to use hard stuff, if I was going through withdrawals or something, I would go sit in the sauna to help like sweat it out, and it would always help. That's kind of how I found out about the sauna was when I got sober. Base level? What do you mean? I don't do I don't do the intervals, but I do jump in an ice bath for about a minute after I get out of the sauna. But I feel more benefit from the sauna than the ice bath. I don't know about beautiful, but um, there was not last winter, the winter before last, my water line broke, and so we had this big snow, and the whole winter, the way that me and my wife had to take baths was outside in the snow by like waiting on the sun to like hopefully melt some water. And so we were literally standing out in the snow, pouring water that was barely not frozen into ice over us every day. And that was rough, man. Because, like, not only were you having the ice cold water poured on you, but the wind was blowing on you. And it was back in that winter that we had like -2, -5 degrees. I don't know how I didn't catch pneumonia from that. Yeah, I really thought we was going to hit 85, but I don't know what happened. About turn 25, Newt's triple hit max HP, his A3, it just started doing shit damage. I don't know what happens in the mid 20s. Newt does really good damage until you get in like the mid 20 levels, and then his damage just drops to literally like 10% of what it was. I want those 50 mythical twisted horn fragments. But no, I agree, man. That you don't really know who you are until you go through some shit like that. I do gotta hop off here and get ready for work though, man. It's good talking to you. I'll talk to you tomorrow or something.